Special session, Mayor and City Council meeting 11:30 Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, City Hall Complex, Council Chambers. Call this meeting to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Discussion items. Discussion and possible action on setting a starting salary for city clerk position. We got a copy of a general proposal, and then apparently Ms. Lori set up the city clerk random salaries for the state. Would anybody have any input on this?
And she also put in the benefits for this, what the position will receive. So she was asked to just try to get an idea of what the salaries across the state were based on, as you see, ZipRecruiter, and salary.com. And then obviously what the prior city clerk, what that position who was receiving. Of course, she had how many years? That's where she was at that time when she retired. So with that said, I am providing you the information and on what we had created with the position once retired. If you look on where it says salary range, it's to be depending on what you guys decided to do as the conflict.
Yeah, this position doesn't fall under any, this is a council appointed position. It's a council decision. Council had that discussion in executive session, but because that was an executive session, so you need to have that, make that decision in a public meeting so that we can move forward with that, implementing that salary.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
So when we advertise this position, do we specify some type of salary? It just says DOQ?
Other than this, what we had created. Because you tasked us to redo the position to get it more up to date. So we did do the up to date qualifications, essential functions, all that regarding to this position. And again, we left the salary range just up to you as council.
So what is the current, beginning salary for that position? Is it on the salary schedule?
I think it is again, but as we determined before that it was set forth probably 15 years ago. So it was on the low end of the scale. And that's why I said to ask Lori to ensure that we maybe do some research. What are you seeing across the state? So with that, Vice Mayor, again, the average salary starting around 46,000 to 47,000.
I have a question, Mr. Kramer. Can I ask him?
Go ahead.
So when he was in process by HR, there was no salary stated there before signing the contract?
No,
Or not contract, I'm sorry, but,
the agreements for
agreement.
for benefits and such, no.
okay.
I had already put on him on the starting salary that it was on your salary range, just in case we didn't meet. So at least he would, because we have to run payroll, we would have adjusted based on the salary, but I put the city clerk at the basic salary, starting salary, again, just to have that.
Okay. I would, being that we're going back and forth, I'd like to suggest a salary of 50,000 that to our city clerk. Would like to make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Go ahead, Ms. Montero.
Mr. Kramer, I sent you an email specifically asking you a little bit about the minimum and the midpoint and the maximum end of the salary. I realize that this position is at will, and all the other factors that come with being at will employee. But I asked Ms. Lori, and excuse me, I don't remember her last name, and yourself, to give me that information. So I looked at that information very carefully, and I also, keeping in mind that they're at will, but also other employees have been hired in the past year or so. And it's been a little bit interesting because some start with experience at mid-range, some start at minimum range, some start at maximum. And I know that it's been a practice at the city of Nogales to kind of hire as human resources kind of chooses. Because if you look at the qualifications of employees that are hired, there are some that have the qualifications. Some of them have masters and above. And I think that is important to take into consideration, regardless if you're at will or not, okay? So having said that, I looked at this City of Nogales City Clerk, and I know we had prior meetings regarding this position. And so I think that in fairness to the people that are being hired or have been hired, we have to respect the fact that, you know, if some employee has been hired in the past that has further than the minimum qualifications, like a master's degrees, and they start at the minimum, and then we hire another employee that doesn't have the extra qualifications like a master's, and we start at midpoint. So I asked you in my email, like, who makes that decision and so forth, and you answered accordingly. So today, for me, I wanted to go on record that we need to have some consistency across the board, regardless if you're at will or not. And I know that today we're making a decision based on the fact that he's at will, and then some of his Mr. Cariaga's qualifications and additional qualifications. So I realize it's up to us as a council, but you know, I wanted to make sure that I said that on record because I think it's only fair for all employees to be treated in an equitable way. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Doyle.
Yes, in all fairness to that, and I guess that comparison of other employees, we got to realize that this position is way under what the rest of the state pays, other communities, and that's the problem that we haven't, and then there hasn't been another city clerk for over 30 years, so it's actually outdated what we're paying for this position. And I think if that was the case, there would have been more applicants if we would have had it up to par or standard. I think to say that we start at a minimum here, we're just going back instead of going forward. And again, since Mr. Cariaga's at will, this is not so much about the person coming on board right now. It's more like setting up, I guess, a standard for even future people that might come down the road. And so I think it's time that we at least, and even at the suggestion of 50,000, it's still low compared to the rest of the communities and the leagues of cities and towns. And so if we're ever going to put out again for this position, we're just going to have to go back to the drawing board and do another increase or something to be able to attract those type of people that Councilwoman Montiel is talking about. I think anybody with with those qualifications would expect a lot more in pay and having to make the move down here to work for the city of Nogales. And even here locally, even the people that would work with this position does require and takes a lot of effort and time for whoever's the city clerk. There's a lot of things that are in play. And when you compare all that to the wage of 50,000, the city's still getting a good deal. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
Go ahead.
I just want to follow up on Mr. Doyle's comment. He's saying that we're paying the low salary in the state, but I see here that the salary paid for city clerk in Phoenix is $46,698. So I think we're a little above that. The other thing is,
Just so you know, that number's not accurate. That's a salary.com thing. I have the league's salary information from 2023. The city of Phoenix clerk back in 2023 was at 163,000.
Again, then, with all due respect to what Lori was doing,
City of
And experience, I imagine.
right,
So.
with experience. Lori was just trying to get an average without bringing in the League of Cities. And what she did was she just ran this through. Again, it's important to know that what their requirements as opposed to what our requirements and everything. I don't think it's, and Vice Mayor, you're right, it does say that. And it does say on some of these, we are one of the lower ones. We're lower in our directors. If you really want to get in there, the directors, according to the League of Cities, the directors are 120.
Do you want to know what the manager makes in Phoenix?
No, that's not the relevant. But what I'm saying is the starting salary for your directors are 120 to 130. So taking the League of Cities into account to what we're doing with this position, and no fault to the clerk, I'm not trying to make that reference. I'm trying to say is what we started our last two directors was 30,000 less than what the League of Cities minimum start is too. Mr. Doyle, I'm not trying to throw anything against all that. I'm just trying to be letting you know what we looked at, also based on what our directors' starting salaries are, because the last two directors you hired started at the minimum salaries. Yet, according to League of Cities, they should be at least 30 to 40,000 more.
okay,
So again, I'm not taking League of Cities out of context. I understand it. I'm just trying to give you what she was looking at in reference also based on because she put in all the intangibles. Again, she ran this through the dynamics of AI, and AI sometimes will spit out this based on what's going on. Okay, it's taken in that practicality. It's taken in what we're paying our directors, and it spits out this information. Analytics, and that's what it's called, analytics, sometimes will analyze and give us this. So it's not against what you're saying, Mr. Doyle, or what you guys are. We're just providing information. And again, you're not far off of what you're saying. But if we did the salary study, well, I didn't bring that out too much, but if you look at the League of Cities again on everyone, including you as council members, including wherever, that's all I wanted to say about this data. It's analytics based on also what the city is paying our employees and what the city is also paying directors.
okay, Mr.
Go ahead, finish.
Let me finish up on my comment. Okay, so I guess I got the wrong information here. So I'm thinking that the motion that the mayor's done is, I guess it'd be reasonable. The only problem that I was seeing with that, starting the clerk with a very high salary, is because we've run into problems before hiring people at really high salaries, and then when it comes to budget time, they give them another increase to the salary, and all of a sudden those people are earning way more than they were hired for. So I know that in the past, we started people at 90,000 and then the budget came around and they awarded them another 5,000. So the salaries were skyrocketing. So that's my only concern, but I think 50,000 is reasonable. 50, what the mayor, 50.
Motion was for 50.
A question.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ms. Melendez.
It's very similar to what Mr. Bojorquez was talking. I see here that the city clerk position in municipalities across Arizona are from 46 to 47. So got me confused. Is it okay? Is it the right information?
Again, the analytics that was put into this, just so you know, that was based on, again, salaries from also the city of Nogales, and it brings that in there. What was stated here may not be accurate to what League of Cities is paying. Again, if we were to put the League of Cities, this salary would be starting 100,000. So I said, okay, if we're going to look at it as you look at the rest of the employees as you're looking at, put in also the data from what our city employees are making as well, including your directors.
Okay, thank you.
So then the wording on here, what you have in front of you is just analytics based also on salaries. So where it says the city of Phoenix and everything to that, I'm not going to take that too much into account other than based on where the average salary would be if it's in the city of Nogales compared to what other employees are making. And the mayor's recommendation and second would be right in the ballpark of this area that it's saying.
Go ahead, Mr. Stowe.
In certain areas, it seems like we're comparing apples with oranges, but I think when you mention directors, not all of them fall in the same class. Some of them do their work, some of them don't. That's why we have to outsource so much. If everybody did their job, we wouldn't have to be doing that. But I think the city clerk is more still a position of a director here under the mayor and council. And we know the work that the city clerk does. They do earn their money. Even if they paid them $10,000, $15,000 more than what is recommended at this point. But the thing is that we have some directors there that, hopefully the city manager eventually will make them do the work they're paid for. As far as we might be under other cities with our directors, but at the same time, I'm sure other cities, I guess the directors there earn their keep, in other words. And that's why it seems like other cities seem to stand out a lot more than Nogales does. We need to correct those problems. But if we're going to get for this position, the city clerk, which entails a lot of work, I think 50,000 is still very moderate, and it's at least it's an incentive that the pay is going up in that position for anybody else that would want to apply in the future in case we need to open up that position again. That's basically what we're looking at. I'm not looking at specifically at the person, but whoever gets in there is going to do their, because all of us are on top of it. The city manager, ourselves, the mayor, we all have input in that position. But we have no input on the directors out there in the field. We have nothing to, we don't even know if they're doing their job. The only one that can tell is the city manager, or when the work doesn't get done and we have to outsource.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Parra?
I agree with the mayor. We're 50,000. As long as the minimum qualifications are met, as far as like having the bachelor's degree in public business administration, that would be great. So I would go with the 50,000. If that minimum qualification isn't met, then I would say maybe start at 46 or 47, and then once getting the certified municipal clerk certification, then we could go at 50.
Bonilla?
Just to echo Councilwoman Barajas, and it's been said by the city manager, we're comparing the city clerk's position with other directors, but other directors have 5, 10, 15 employees under them, which require a whole lot, I think, more attention to that department. Here's, like Councilman Doyle pointed out, it's pretty much a one-man show. I'm not saying not taking anything away from this position, but I would feel more comfortable starting them at 46, 47. And within a year, we go back and just give them the 50, if so, because as Councilwoman Parada just stated, we would like to see some type of certification for this type of job. We gone in the past, our history here, we hired people in the past when they've worked towards their education. We've not had very good results for this type of hiring.
I think you done? Okay. I think, we've already taken the step and put somebody in this position. Mr. Carrera was selected by us. I think my motion to do the 50,000 is a reasonable motion to this position. And as we all know, it's at will. And I think, I think we should just move forward and like we all say, that's he's got 7 people, which is us up here in the dais, that he's got to respond to. And we all, know how important that position is when election comes and outsiders put in, petitions and everything. It all goes to the clerk. So that, there is a lot of learning status that, they got to do. I think it's time for us to really take care and utilize the League of Cities, which is, that's what they're for, to train and give all the background on needs, on information, and make sure that we have a well-respected city clerk in our city. So with that said, I'd like to, take a vote. Go ahead.
Just so that I can, thank you. I just want to mention very quickly that, in fairness to Mr. Estes, he brought up a good point. Today, I think he was surfacing on it, but before, when we hire these positions, we also have to do our part. And when people apply for these positions, they show us through their application what type of qualifications they have. Some have masters, some have BAs, and some have special certifications, and yet we don't select those people based on whatever reason it is. So we have to also look at that. Also, when we talk about trying to compare other communities to Nogales, we have to take a lot of factors into consideration. Nogales is not Phoenix, it's not Scottsdale, it's not even Tucson. So we need to make sure, because when we, I heard so much about this infamous salary schedule, and we paid thousands of dollars and all of that stuff. But I think now that we're in the process of revamping our human resources department, I think that perhaps in the future we can look at the salaries and the schedules and the ranges and all of that, because we want to encourage degrees. Our community deserves better. People spend a lot of money in acquiring a degree. And regardless of how you feel about that, that's the reality. We don't want an attorney that doesn't have a law degree. We don't want a doctor that's working on us without going to medical school. So it's just that simple. So I wanted to make sure that, we, Mr. Kramer, start looking at that now that we're in the process of revamping the Human Resources Department. And that's just about it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Doyle.
I just want to clear up one thing. There's in place a system, I guess, at the leagues of cities and towns to train people for this position. And in the past, Nogales, when I guess it seemed like our former city clerk was looking like maybe in the future retiring or something, the city of Nogales sent somebody up there that still works for the city and was trained properly. But yet, I didn't see her apply for this position. Is it because she's making more wages where she's at right now?
We can't get into the discussions about other individuals or.
Well, in other words, where I'm going at with
It's
this.
only agendized for the discussion of the current salary. So
Okay.
we're getting.
But we're talking about background, education, training, and all
I
that.
know, but you're talking about someone else's background and questioning why
Well,
someone.
no, what I'm asking is that is that the same training that somebody like our present city clerk could go and get trained?
I will say this to answer your question, Mr. Doyle. I just chatted with him a little earlier, our new city clerk, and Miguel, we got a new program that we will be utilizing to get the agendas. We're getting rid of the old program. The new program will be coming in. Not only city clerk, housing will be trained as well. And I believe it is on September 17th, if I'm correct. Correct. And the following week, your esteemed in-house attorney has declared himself to come in, to stay not only Wednesday when he comes down, but stay Wednesday night and come in Thursday to spend one day with the new city clerk, going everything over all the parameters of training that he probably would have gotten at League of City, but a one-to-one training that is much more prevalent and certainly valuable to having that kind of training. So just to, I know you were mentioning it, I'm just giving you a background of what we're going to do for the training for the new city clerk.
Okay, all right.
It's going to be priceless training.
At no cost to us.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. See,
At least for starters, and then from there, as council, you can decide, and you can certainly, whatever the city clerk looks at, certainly if you want my input, I will help you with that. But we can go further with the mayor had suggested the League of Cities has training, and we can certainly do that. I am not against any training, Mr. Doyle. As Councilwoman mentioned, education is a key component of this. Then certainly training is a component of education. Then I'm all for that. As your city manager, I would make that recommendation as well.
Okay, that's it. All in favor? Aye.
well, favor of what?
Well, the motion of the to give the city clerk a salary of 50,000.
Yeah.
That was the motion. You seconded, Mr. Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
You got who?
Number 2, consideration and possible action for Mayor Maldonado's trip to Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico to meet with the governor of Sonora on Friday, the 12th of September, 2025, and attend the State of the State Forum on Saturday, the 13th of September, 2025. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve this. I'm not sure if I could approve it or if somebody wants, you guys put this thing that I got to bring up to the council, my travel. So it's on Friday. I got it. I got the invitation from the governor's office on Wednesday when we already had the agenda for our meeting. That's why I couldn't put it on last Wednesday. And I talked to Mr. Estes, that obviously we would have a special session for this commitment to go up there with the governor. That's why I put it in the agenda. So.
Are you making a motion?
Well, I'm not sure if I could make the motion. I'm the one doing it. It's legal? Or is it?
It's not a legal conflict to make the motion or even vote on it because it's just approving an expenditure for travel. So, yes, you're welcome to make the motion. You're welcome.
Okay. I make the motion to approve this travel to Hermosillo to the, do I, second? Any comments? Go ahead, Ms. Melendez.
Just to get, background information, what profit does the city get from this trip to Hermosillo?
Profit?
Yeah, if it was,
International relationships, international, we're working on situations and asking the governor and his office to give us support within the cattle industry, the produce industry, tourism, the traffic of the port. We're looking at getting a sentry lane and study for Mariposa. There's a lot of things we talk about.
but going there, I don't think you're going to be able to talk to him at that program that
I promise
we're
I
talking
will.
about.
I'll show you the picture.
I don't know. My idea is if it was the mayor from Nogales, Sonora, we're getting a lot of profit from them, a lot. Well, benefits, thank you. But I don't think going to Hermosillo to the governor, getting any profits. I'm sorry, but that's
Okay.
my
Mr. Doyle?
opinion.
In the past, Mayor, economic development has always been one of the important issues when we deal with Sonora, not just Nogales, Sonora, but the whole state of Sonora. And in the past, always the governor, there's been a lot of interaction with the state of Arizona and Sonora. And mostly Nogales has always been the leading, has taken the lead. In other words, the mayor of Nogales has taken the lead in that. And so it's very important that you as a mayor represent Nogales in those tables, because all the efforts of the other folks like the Port Authority are involved in that. It's not just the mayor going out there. It really involves a whole organization, and it's setting up not only in Sonora, in Mexico, but in Arizona, making it the pathway of bringing more industry to this region. And that's very important that the mayor be at the table of those, whatever goes on in those relationships. And so it's not only that, it's just, that's for economic development, but anytime that the mayor is invited to even like when we go to the rodeo down here it's a matter of good relationships and having a good image throughout a working relationship, because that opens doors. If it doesn't open them directly there, it opens them in other places. I think you're familiar with that, Councilwoman Lopez, how that sometimes the secondary things that come into play and opens doors with other important factors and people or representatives throughout the state. It makes us look good all the way up to Washington when they know that our local congressman knows, mayors, how effective they are and the work they do to keep those relationships alive and making it a worthwhile effort for the whole state. It's important. It's important. So I feel that's something that we should, start off with. We as a council and mayor don't really get pay. In other words, we don't get paid for our positions. We get $25. The mayor gets $50 a month, and so it's not fair that those costs that he incurs for the city should come out of his pocket directly. If we're not gonna get paid, at least let the city pay for whatever we incur to represent the city, and that's gas money and lodging and you know, per diem. That's why I support that we make sure that the mayor gets compensated for those extra costs. Thank you.
Mr. Bonilla?
I would agree with Councilman Doyle. However, this event is not one of a roundtable or open for discussion. This is a State of the Union address where the governor is on the podium and he's addressing the Mexican Assembly, and he's addressing everyone and giving the information. I do agree that the mayor needs to be there at some point for special meetings on roundtable discussion in representing the city of Nogales. However, I don't see anything that would benefit our city and him being there, because at this point it's not going to be a roundtable event, one that's going to be open for discussion or anything. It's one of you're sitting down and you're receiving information. And that's about it. But that's just my point of view.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Yes, I understand that, you know, I agree with the mayor, he and Mr. Doyle too, you know, the mayor represents the city of Nogales. And lately, which I had never seen before, the governor of Arizona has been in constant communication with the governor of Sonora. And I'm pretty sure that if the governor from Arizona calls on the city of Nogales and asks the mayor, what's going on with Sonora? You know, what are the plans in Sonora? Are they working with Nogales, Sonora, and Nogales, Arizona? Are we making any progress regarding the wait times to cross the line and the train and all that? So the mayor has to have that information to respond to those questions to the governor of Arizona. And you know, I'd never seen any other governor before make constant communication with the governor of Sonora. So I think if that continues, it's important for the mayor to be informed of what's going on in that state. That's my comment.
Go ahead, Mr. Doyle.
I'm glad the Vice Mayor brought that out because, you know, I just went kind of on a general thing, but there's a lot of specifics involved, like some of that the Vice Mayor brought out. And that's very important that you be informed, but not only informed, but that you have that relationship. And that's exactly what I think that's so important about you being over there, that the governor here will see that the mayor of Nogales is more at the forefront of all the border mayors in communication. And that gives Nogales an advantage in the future. Like when we ask for grants from the state, the governor, it's most of the time it has a final say of how they feel about supporting us with grants. And if you have a good relationship of communication with the governor of Arizona and Sonora that helps the governor of Arizona, I believe that we will be rewarded, and that's where economically and financially we will benefit. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, Friday, I was in Douglas at the groundbreaking of Douglas Newport. You had Paulina, the representative of the governor there, Diego, representative of infrastructure that we talked about, the Century Lane to Mariposa Port. You know, you had Senator Kelly, you had Eva from the Arizona Mexico Commission. You know, these things go a long way. These things go a long way. Yesterday, I was up in Tucson after a meeting at Circle of Peace with another meeting, and Mayor Murphy from Sahuarita was there. Next week or so, he's got a state of the city. You know, yes, he's Sahuarita, I'm in Nogales, but we respect each other, and we look for, you know, everything that goes through Nogales a lot of times stops in Sahuarita. You know, we have how many border patrols and customs that live in Sahuarita or in Tucson. You know, wouldn't we want to have all those? You know, so it's all relationships. You know, you guys got to understand. You know, yeah, and it comes with my seat. of representing the city. That's the biggest thing I'm going to do. If I'm going to be in this seat, I'm going to go all out to be the best representative the city ever had. So, thank you. With that said, I'd like to take a vote. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Roll call. Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
No.
No.
Wow.
That's the kind of council you have.
Okay. Thank you. Adjourn this meeting.